I filmed this video twice and both times it's gone horribly wrong because I can't seem to be able to speak right now. So I deleted both of them anyway again. So basically, I've been on self improvement for 2 years. It's been more than 2 years, I don't know. But most of you watching probably already know that. And many times I've noticed people, especially the already successful self improvement influencers on social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, they always make it seem like you need to be feeling perfect or do things with great efficiency in order to actually succeed. For example, if you're going to work out, you have to eat the perfect meal before, you have to have the perfect freaking playlist, you have to drink the perfect amount of water, get the perfect amount of sleep before you're going to hit the workout. If you're going to do work, lock up the house, no one should distract you, don't ever freaking answer a call, make sure you do 4 hours of deep work, and you get the idea, right? They make it seem like everything needs to be just amazingly perfect. Everything should be, yeah. Yesterday I had a pretty, probably the worst weightlifting session I've had in a long time. I had leg day, and leg day is not the reason I had a bad session. It's just it was a bad session, right? I had to use my warm up weights for my actual working sets, and I trained very hard. I don't want to boast, but I trained very hard, and it sucked. I tried pushing myself. I couldn't. I absolutely couldn't, and I was genuinely about to freaking explode in the gym because I was so frustrated. But I could barely walk. I was just very tired. Then my this idea popped up in my head because I was outside, and then I was like, what, I need a script for today's video. And I decided, what, these people make it seem like everything needs to be perfect, and I felt like crap in the gym and I still got the workout done. Now that's my point. The truth is, you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be efficient with things, and the truth is, I keep saying the truth is, but the reality of life is, for most people, unless you're already successful, the truth is, no one's going to be watching these videos if you're already successful, right? And when you're already successful, you have control to do whatever you want, whenever you want, go to wherever you want, whenever you want. You just have control over everything because you're financially free. Now, most people are not financially free. I am nowhere close to it. You are probably nowhere close to it. And when that's the case, no matter how much you try or think you can't control a lot of things that are not in your control. Hence, you're not going to be able to perform at your best, you're most efficient. It's close to impossible. Trust me, especially before, when I started self-improvement, I got so frustrated when I had to do something, but other people around me wouldn't really care. Hence, things would not go well, and I couldn't get what the heck I wanted. And yeah, I got really extremely frustrated when I had to perform things at not great of an efficiency level, if that makes sense. But now I understand that, what, look, unless you're already successful, you can't do these things. You can't do things the way you want. You just have to accept that. You can try as much as you want, but the truth is, every time, in fact most times, you're not going to be able to do things the way you want, right? People may interrupt things, life may interrupt. You just have to accept it. It's not about being perfect, it's just about getting it done. I don't want to talk about discipline and stuff and sound like some motivational. That's not the point of this video. Point of this video is to tell you that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to feel great. Life does not work like that. Life will never allow you to work like that, unless, again, like I said, when you become like peak success, then you can control things for the most part. But unless you're there, until you're there, you can't. That's natural, it's not even your fault. I hear it all the time from people, especially freaking average people. No offense by calling them average, but you are average. They need to get something done, and they'll be like, oh, my leg is paining, so I'm going to wait till tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes up and their friend comes over, so they're like, you know what, I need to spend time with my friend. It's been 3 years since I've spent time with them, so I'm going to spend time with them tomorrow. I'm going to get it done. And eventually this goes on and on and on, and they procrastinate it to they never get it done. And my point is, often humans are we're way too accustomed nowadays, especially, to get things done when we feel like it, right? We do things just based off our moods, based off how we feel. And you cannot live life. If you live life like that, the only thing you're going to accomplish every day is eating, sleeping, and going to your freaking job. That's all, school or whatever. The rest, you're never going to improve in life because you're operating based off your moods. And the reason you do these things is because you can't live without them. You can't live without money, you can't live without food, you can't live without freaking drinking any liquids, you can't live without sleep. And so when you realize that you can't live without it, you have to get them done. But the rest, it's always customizable. It's always to your preference. So you can be like, you know what, I know I need to get this done, but I'm going to push it off because I don't feel great right now. I think that's one of the biggest, honestly, downfalls of humanity nowadays. I see it every time, and when I see it with people who are close to me, with people who I actually love, and yet it's not a pleasant sight to see when people do that. More than anything, more than discipline, more than motivation, or it shows the kind of character that you are, because often what you do when things don't feel great is what actually shows your character. Everyone can easily go and get their workout in when they feel great, when they feel motivated. Watch a David Goggins video. Can you get it? Can you get your workout in 2 years after you constantly lifted almost every day? You put on close to no muscle. Can you yet go and work out again? That's what shows your character. That's what's going to give you success in the long term. For example, yesterday, my leg day probably contributed to negative 0.1% growth. Like, there is no way I would have that workout had any correlation to me building muscle, because I just couldn't push myself, right? But I got it done. I could have easily given myself an excuse and be like, I'm gonna rest today, but I did not. I got it done. Now, what that's going to do, it's going to give me discipline. It's going to tell me that, what, even if things feel like crap, I can still go and get something done. That, I think, is one of the greatest qualities you can have, especially as a man, because as a man, you feel a lot of different things, good or bad. You can't operate or function of how you feel. You just have to. There are certain things you got to get done. You got to get it done. That's man. That's, yeah. And no disrespect to women, it's kind of the same for you as well. But I'm just saying that that's what you expect out of a man. So get it done. You don't have to feel, oh, I feel great. No, you don't.